We live in strange times, but I wanted to talk about domestic issues. Songezo Zibi, the leader of Rise Mzansi, captured the spirit of Parliament on Tuesday when he stood at the stage during the National Assembly and National Council of Provinces' annual joint sitting, which was devoted to discussing the President's State of the Nation address, Sona, which was delivered the previous week. Please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn on the notification bell so as to get all our updates. The post-Sona argument often centers on the government's inability to fulfill any grandiose pledges made by the president. There was some of it as usual this year. However, as Zibi correctly noted, these are not typical times. Speeches from all political parties were dominated by one topic: U.S. President Donald Trump's executive order that would freeze funding to South Africa and provide refuge to Afrikaner farmers. Zibi said that since the falsehoods the U.S. was spreading impacted 17% of South Africa's HIV budget and around 15,000 related employment, they were deadly serious. Zibi pleaded with President Cyril Ramaphosa, saying, "Mr. President, we must not be caught napping." The Rise Mzansi leader said, "It is just a matter of time until we are taken out of the AGOA trade arrangement and God knows what other consequences." He called on the South African administration to establish and strengthen ties with other international trade partners immediately. Widespread endorsement of the anti-bullying position. The discussion showed that Ramaphosa's Sona message to the U.S., "We will not be bullied," had widespread backing among South Africa's major political parties. This was true even for the two parties who often criticize Ramaphosa the most, the EFF and MK, but MK made it apparent that it did not disagree with all of Trump's positions, especially those that have to do with nuclear power and Russia. While we expect President Donald Trump to end the imperialist war of NATO and Russia and disassociate from the neo-colonial and dishonest so-called green energy transitions imposed on the developing world, we do not agree with him and his promotion of white supremacists who claim that they are facing genocide in South Africa, said opposition leader John Hlophe, before making another attempt. Jacobzuma, the former president and Hlophe's employer, was in the gallery, watching with interest. During the majority of his lengthy 24-minute speech, Hlophe praised Zuma's leadership in a way that made other members of parliament laugh, roll his eyes, and try to call him to order for relevancy. Hlophe's declaration that President Zuma never told lies during his tenure as president and head of state was the pinnacle of his Zuma laudatory tirades. He never claimed to have won any simple battles. President Zuma gave local work first priority and provided services to the people. Please remind yourselves of the true legacy of the Zuma presidency, as we live in a time when history is being rewritten every day and false information seems to be endangering the foundation of human civilization. However, the EFF's backing for Ramaphosa's position toward the U.S. was almost unambiguous. Leader Julius Malema sent a clear message to the president. "This was really all about Israel," he said. Malema stated, "Mr. President, the Trump administration is not attacking us because you did anything wrong. Our stance on Israel is the reason they are targeting us. Our government's move before the International Court of Justice, ICJ, to have Israel's conduct in Gaza classified as genocide is the reason they are targeting us. We are warning you not to believe those who claim that you are under siege due to land expropriation, which is a pointless act. They all comprehend that language, and that act says nothing." However, Malema said that just declaring that you would not be bullied is insufficient. "You need to let us know what you plan to do. Freedom Front Plus is staying put." Peter Greenwald, the head of the Freedom Front Plus, had a quite different stance, praising Trump and Afrikaans for bringing attention to Afrikaners and reminded the world of their presence. "Ek is hier om te bly," Greenwald stated, referring to the promise of sanctuary for Afrikaners in Trump's U.S. "I intend to remain here. It is not true that expropriation without compensation will solve the land issue," he said, criticizing the land reform initiative. The reaction from Action SA, whose leader, Herman Mashaba, has previously shown support for Trump, was rife with schadenfreude. Athol Trollop, the chief whip, was compelled to employ a phrase that has most likely never been used in a country's parliament before. FAFO, fuck about and find out. In light of Trump's executive order and the imminent possibility of AGOA's revocation, there has been an astounding amount of backstabbing. It makes me think of the well-known abbreviation FAFO, Hlophe said without explicitly